Hey guys, just a short video here. I apologize for the quality of my capture card, but I wanted to talk about something that's been happening to me in the game quite a lot recently. So in this replay, I am Wall Pinchel. It's my Xbox account. So I used to play on Mac OS, so I was like a Mac OS player, and then what happened was uh, Psyonix decided to stop supporting Mac OS. So I stopped playing on Mac OS. So I started playing on my Xbox again. And I think for a while, like my server issues were pretty bad on Xbox. Like this, like summer, I guess it's August now, but for the last few months, my server issues on Xbox have been pretty good. And I even took a month off. I took a month off from playing the game, uh, which was probably a good idea. I get a lot less angry. But so anyway, I just want to talk about things that happen in the game uh, that really kind of make it unplayable for me. So I'm at the level now where I like to do a lot of the things that I'm doing are very slight touches on the ball. Okay, and so what that means is like little misdirections, little redirections, uh, little jukes, little flicks, carries, things that are like micro movements, or might even be like, let's just touch the ball a tiny bit. So right here, you can see my hitbox hits the ball. Here's this guy. Is the guy I'm 1v1ing. He's looking at me, and he's like, okay, he's going to hit it probably to my corner. And the ball starts literally, like I hit it. You can tell from the beginning of this replay. So the ball isn't necessarily going to do a whole lot, right? It's not going to go right into the goal or go to the corner or anything. It's just sort of going to bounce up to like this direction and then like here. And this guy, he's turning towards it a little bit. Like he's going in the direction where the phantom hit that you just saw put the ball. So he, I believe, even sees me. He sees me hit the ball in the direction that I actually think I hit it. Also, by the way, every time I replay this, it's interesting. Why that time it didn't even seem like I hit the ball. Where does the hit occur? Okay, very strange. At this point, the ball in the replay, I'm confused now because I was at the point we were looking at my hit, right? Yeah, it's like, okay, so it's like right here, the hitbox. Okay, so whatever. Like that's apparently when I hit the ball. Uh, this dude already sees me hitting the ball. He's correcting himself. And it looks like, yeah, like obviously I did enough to change the direction of the ball. But what happens? The server doesn't think that I hit the ball. So the ball just keeps rolling. It doesn't ever correct for the fact that my client says I literally did hit the ball. I literally hit it. There's no immediate recorrection that happens. So so let me just say, like, one of the things Psyonix says about this is that uh oh, like sometimes the server like just has different state than the client, and then the client has to like catch up to the server, and then it makes it look like a lot of things happen that like didn't happen in the game, right? So even though you think this thing happened on your screen, then the other player. Let me just talk about this for a minute. Let me just talk about that, like that idea, okay? Because let's say I'm playing basketball, and I shoot a ball, like I'm literally 1v1ing somebody in a basketball court. And I shoot a ball and it goes literally into the net. Am I going to allow some third party mediator to decide that my ball did not actually go in the net? Like, that's not actually true, right? You wouldn't do that. What you would do is be like, oh, the ball actually went on the net, and the client, let's like quick correct the server so that one player doesn't believe that he's just smashed into the ball, and then another player also who believes that, who is also literally driving in the direction of where the ball was going, and now here, phantom hit going straight to the goal, because it doesn't register my hit. Do you think that that would be allowed in any non-esport type situation? Because in my opinion, that makes it so that it puts a middleman into the game, and the middleman can decide anything. So a lot of times I'll go for kickoffs in these Xbox games. I'll go for kickoffs and see if I can even probably like find one. Let's try to put some stuff on the screen here so we know what we're doing. There should be a kickoff after a goal. So let's see. I score. I'm just going to go back a while because. So right now, I don't know. This is just me venting, complaining. I get it. You know, it's annoying. You've heard it before. I actually, for my real job, I am a programmer. And so like when we get the excuses, I'd say, from like Psyonix about why stuff can't happen, they're similar to the excuses you get in your own job where people just they don't want to change a thing. They could fix it. It's just like it's easier to come up with an excuse that it's not high enough value change. Be like, oh, the game was fine for 5 years. Why would we change it now? Okay, so let's see a kickoff here. All I want to tell is like what happens to the ball. Like, is there a good correction of physics? I thought that was good. Like this seems fine. I touch the ball, it hits his hitbox, the back of my hitbox, and goes up. That seems good, right? Let's just go forward to the next kickoff. So I hit the ball, it hits the top of his car, or it doesn't even. All right, hold on. There's something about demos in the game that make it hard to do replays in slow motion. I have to wait for this demo to like animation to disappear so that I can see the kickoff, which is quite strange because there hasn't been a. If it's the kickoff, okay. So we're coming towards the ball. We're just gonna judge what happens here. Okay, I'm touching the ball. It doesn't even touch his car. Doesn't even touch it. I'm just so angry at that point. Oh, and then he demos me. Okay. I remember being very angry at this point. So it must be a different kickoff that set me off. So ignore everything. The reason there's all these little markers is because that's when I am like pressing the button the hardest. We're just going back. Just keep playing. Let's see what happens here. Okay, there's a demo. It says boom. Come on. Okay, I don't know who's scoring. What's happening here? Okay, so over there. So we could go over there. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so I am trying to save the ball here. I've hit it into the actual corner, and it kind of drifts back out for this guy to just touch in, which is fine. But I think maybe there was something before that really didn't sit well with me. Let me just explain the problem with this whole situation. So for a player like me, I'm using these games, these 1v1 games, I'm trying to rank up, first of all. Second of all, I'm using them as an indicator of my skill in the game. So if people are destroying me in 1v1s, then I don't think of myself as the best player. Like, I shouldn't. I don't think of myself as a very good player. And there's stuff like this, like the phantom hit thing I showed earlier. There's just stuff that, let's see what's happening now. Where is everyone? Okay, over here. There's just stuff that, when applied across enough time, like, let's say the same thing happens to me where I'm going for a ball. I think I hit it. I literally think I hit it, and the replay shows my car going through the ball. And it happens multiple times a game. I don't know whether I'm supposed to believe that I'm a better player than I would be if that wasn't happening to me, or if I'm supposed to admit to myself that for some reason, I'm going through the ball, but really the game is correct and I'm the one who's trash. Because promise you, or probably, like, that's my question. And my question is, why are we allowing this third party middleman into? I know the server has to exist, right? But it does not have to be the only source of truth. That is ridiculous. Like, the fact that they're saying we have to match everything to the server just means that each player's local state is wrong by default. Okay? Like, that's all it means. And what we should be doing is being like, okay, can we calculate as close as we can to where the player's car is? Can we calculate that? And I just kind of want to get through. I'm just going to follow the action of the game here and see what happens. Okay, this is another thing that kept happening to me, is I would do a demo after a demo after a demo after a demo to another player, and they would never get demoed. It would be kind of ridiculous. So I don't know if that was a good physics outcome for what the ball did there, for what the two hitboxes did. Maybe it was. Now I'm facing that way, boosting. He's thinking I could maybe score. I'm hitting it to the corner there. Okay. I know what's going to happen now. And now we'll just go back to the middle and we'll wait for the kickoff. But what I want to say is, like, dude, I can't play this game with any reasonable amount of confidence that the hits I'm making in the game are actually producing the outcomes that are included in the game. So the things that I'm doing, I have no reasonable expectation that those are producing any predictable output based on my experience, because I can't. Like, I literally cannot trust anything that I do. I fly at the ball, I go through the ball. If I do hit the ball, the server might say, you didn't even touch that shit. And I think someone has to account for this. Like, we have to account for this in more than just excuses, because this is a sport, supposedly. Like, this has to be scientific. This has to be, like, as close to real as possible. And so that means you can't have a player that knows that they made a shot or missed a shot and have the server decide that they did or didn't based on some correction, because that's not how sports aren't moderated. Like, one player doesn't shoot it at the goal and then the referee jumps up and grabs it and then says, no, actually you weren't going to score that, so the other player has it now. You know what I mean? Like, we wouldn't do that sort of thing to ourselves. And I think it's literally just in Rocket League, it's literally what happens so often. So often. Like, we gotta ask ourselves, like, in this situation, does the ball do what it's supposed to do? Like, I probably shouldn't have been able to. Like, I don't know. Like, it seems fine. It literally seems fine. There's just certain situations that leave you questioning your sanity. And I think that's the part of the game that I can't really get over, is I'm constantly questioning my sanity. And I shouldn't have to. Like, can the goal explosion be done so we can watch this? I shouldn't have to be questioning that. I should be knowing that I just, like, outplayed my opponent. And I think the fact that in this game, you constantly are being corrected. So a lot of my kickoffs, I'll have the ball going towards their goal, completely reverse direction, and now I've wasted multiple frames of my. I don't have I have nothing like the correct view of what's happening, and yet my client is showing me something, and I'm reacting to that, and I think that's really not okay. Like, if it is not the correct, if it is not going to be considered, like, let me explain again that situation. I hit the ball on my client. The ball moves in the direction I hit it on my client. Okay, so the information that my car hit that ball on my client is available. It's sent to the server. The server knows that I hit that ball. It just doesn't care. It just doesn't care. It literally says, oh, if you hit it, well, guess what? Because even though the other player didn't ever touch the ball and it just bounced past you, but while it was bouncing past you, you hit it, the server thought it wasn't hitting you. So the server's right. That just doesn't make sense to me. Because it has the information that you hit it on your client, so it should update the state based on that information. It shouldn't, like, if this was the case, then every single ball that you hit, like, you shouldn't hit because the server shouldn't think you're going to hit it. You know what I mean? Like, the only information that matters should be coming from your client. I hit the ball. That should be relayed to the server. Okay, now the server has to figure out, based on some, like, math, what actually happens now that I've hit the ball. What actually happens? Some outcome has to happen, okay? And, like, we don't even get to see the outcome of the thing that I did, even though the other player did nothing. All right, there's a demo. Yeah, I just think that's very frustrating, and I just want to talk about that for a few minutes, because honestly, it's starting to happen to me multiple times a game now, and I can't trust anything I'm gonna do. Like, I have reasonable confidence that if I bang on, dive into the ball from, like, literally an inch away, that the game will tell me that it wasn't there anymore. Like, that's what I think is the worst part about everything. I'm just going to change the speed up to 100, and we're going to go back because I want to see the whole game from my perspective. And I want to find the part. I want to find the part, dude. There's a part that I literally... Where's player view? Oh my god. I hate... This is like the literal worst fucking UI for like... Oh my god, what a horrible UI this is. Okay, so fly... So let me just get to wall pinchel, yeah? Player view, we'll go back. We'll start over. Cool. Wow, frustrating. Alright, I also hit play. That's that's annoying. Okay. Starting off, wow. A very, very interesting kickoff. Why? Because what happens? I don't know. Okay, so I hit it first. I hit it into him. Goes up. He does one of those. Okay. That was odd to me because A, I didn't do what I wanted with my touch, and then he did that with his touch, so seemed odd. I ended up winning this game. That's not the issue, right? It has nothing to do with if I'm winning or not. It's just this feeling of I'm doing all the right things. I think I'm doing all the right things, right? And maybe obviously from this like replay, you'll be like, no, you're doing like nothing correctly. But just when it comes to like literally touching the ball, I think I'm doing the correct thing. Like I think I'm touching the ball. Those little wobbles when I land, like that can be corrected. I don't know what's causing it exactly, but like just have to tap like air roll before I land. Okay. Decided to try to control this one instead of going for it right away. Immediately pass it to him. Okay. I obviously didn't think I got that one. That wasn't one of the ones. All right. Where would it be? Good save. Did not think I hit that, I don't think. Oh, I actually do remember now. It's not going to be for a little bit, but we can keep watching. Yep. Okay. I literally, so what it was I had an open net near the net, and I drove up to it, and I did a side flip on the ball, made contact with the ball like goes up, and it's right in front of the goal. Just literally goes straight up, like literally doesn't go in the goal or anything, and I'm just like, what is happening with this physics? Got it past him, but in a way that didn't help me. I'm popping it towards my own goal. And then I was like, oh, this is when I got so mad. Because everything I did was just like further setting him up. I got extremely angry at this point. Okay, easy goal. Easy dub. Not really, though. I got really mad. I'm going to open up the field of view all the way. Cool. Oh, it actually doesn't matter if you're on a player view. Okay. Tried to demo. Tried to recover. I always get like destroyed out of those demos, which if I'm understanding demos correctly, you shouldn't demo someone and then get destroyed out of the demo, like thrown backwards. All right, that was a bad challenge. You shouldn't, like, that doesn't make sense because the dude blew up. So does the explosion now, like, is there an explosion factor? Because I've also demoed people and not been affected at all, so like pick one. This right here. Oh, that was it. That triggered me, dude. I'm just gonna slow this down now. We're just gonna watch this. Whoa, I slowed down to 10% and did nothing. Bro. Psyonix and I are on good terms, but like I wouldn't be accepting these excuses from my developers in my company for a sports video game. I'd be like, no, this has to be as perfect physics-wise as possible, and we need to be constantly like vetting it constantly. All right, I'm just gonna fly. I'm just gonna go over here to the goal, and we'll see if like it makes sense what happens. Because to me, almost I could not even touch this and it should go in. Like, almost I should be able to not even touch it. Like right here, I could even just tap, 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 and it goes in. See? Tap. Tap it. But no, I literally hit it. Oh, I don't know why I went backwards. Let me just see. Hitting it. And you can tell I hit it because there's the touch. And it literally, what happens? The ball kind of decides I didn't touch it. Doesn't even hit the corner. Let me just, like, compare to the original trajectory of the ball, right? So, where's the ball? It is going, okay, why is that so fast? I'm at 10%. Let's stay at 10%. Okay, so it is going literally to that same spot. I touch it. I just can't, like, I can't deal with this stuff. This type of stuff just, like, drives me nuts. I shouldn't be in the floor either. So did I go to the floor? Wow, this just makes me like super mad. Like you'd think this was validating or something, but it is not. It literally just makes me even angrier. Because it just means that everything I do in the game is completely up to the game. Like I didn't get, like, even if I play really well, the game can decide on situation after situation that the other player had a better outcome than I did, even though the physics would not suggest anything like that if you were looking at the client physics model and the server and the other client's physics model. Like, what I don't get is, okay, so I touch a fucking ball like this right here. Perfect. I touch that with like my thing. The dude flies out of the way. He never touches it. Like he never, like, why should his client affect, like, I'm so confused about this whole thing, man. I just know that it's like really frustrating to deal with, and that, like, another thing is sometimes my first touches that I make are so weak. Like, I'll try to hit the ball and it literally goes nowhere. Sometimes my first touches are like, oh, okay, well, we're going to just throw the ball out in front of you like 3 car lengths just from a tiny touch, and it has nothing to do with like your clients. Like, it doesn't care that you were going 2 miles an hour. It doesn't care that you were going 50 miles an hour. The server corrects based on some bullshit. For real. That's my experience of this game, and it's frustrating as hell, and I hate it.